casually in the middle of biting a bagel. Who here hasn't slept with Denise?
It's like the Jelly of the Month Club.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
I kind of thought you might be. You're the Florida version of Sex in the City, JD.
Never say never.
Oh my God, it's Katie! Hi!
So good to see you both.
I am so happy we connected
So
finally.
happy.
Denise was supposed to be here today, but she was supposed to come actually be in the U.S. now visiting her mom, but she's a little under the weather right now, health-wise, so she's still in the U.K. So she said to say hello.
Oh, well,
And
hello,
she's
right
sorry
back at you, Denise. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry she couldn't be here today.
And the upside is we get to hang out with that there Joni.
Yes.
You got me today.
Yes.
Oh, bless you. Well, yeah, thanks so much for asking me to do this again. And I was just reflecting on the last time that we spoke, and you were so sweet. I think we exclusively talked about feelings.
Love that.
It's so not British of you. That's very, you've been in
It's
America.
very artistic of you.
No, I really appreciated that.
That was quite a show. That was, I mean, it was both uplifting, it was both hopeful, it gave me hope. And I was happy to hear where you were in your life. I'm truly happy for you because it seems like you have a lot of really great things going on.
Oh, thanks, JD. Thank you. Yeah, I do. And I'm extremely grateful for all the life lessons which have been so all-consuming and intense and unexpected. And when you go through a divorce or a separation, you have to rediscover yourself and find out who you are again. Look at me, I'm just diving right into the emotional stuff.
Wow, so you think it's the beads? You got your beads back, and then the
Yes.
universe started coming together.
That was the craziest thing. I will never forget that. When we
crazy, wasn't
saw
it?
you
Yeah.
on tour with Sophie B. Hawkins, it was magical. And then the beads went missing, and I was so glad that they came back to you.
Oh, you're so sweet, Joni, for remembering that. Thank you.
Yeah.
It did restore my faith in humanity.
Yes.
And I think I've said this before, that type of thing doesn't happen to me. I'm extremely lucky in that people don't take things from me. And if
Yes.
they do, it's always accidental.
Yeah.
That kind of thing was so shocking because people just don't take things. And I was very grateful that they were, through lots of different ways, returned to me, and that it was lots of people conspiring to help. And so it restored my faith in humanity. And
That was
they are upon my person once more. So,
that was an amazing
Perfect.
story because you left town, and they got them back to you.
Today, and I'm so excited. I am a recent subscriber to your Patreon, and I wanted to congratulate you on starting that. And what inspired you to launch a Patreon?
oh, you're so sweet, and thank you for signing up. I can't tell you how much it means to me, and I probably mentioned this in one of my videos to do with the launching of my page, that it was such a big deal for me to do it. I went through a good couple of months of like, I can't do this, no one's going to be interested, and all these sort of internal insecurities that came up around me creating and launching a page. But to answer your question, I think the main reason that I wanted to create it was to connect with people in a much more meaningful way. And I'm so blessed to live this life and to do what I love doing. And I meet so many lovely people like you guys.
Thank you.
And I mean, it's just so cool. And what I love doing is creating community, and I love connecting with people in a meaningful way and sharing what I do. And at the moment, I've got now 28 people signed up. I'm only a week and a half in.
That's fabulous.
Thank you.
Oh
I
my
can already
God.
feel that it's more in alignment with how I like to connect with people and share my art and be creative and not battle an algorithm. I cannot abide feeding the machine. It is something that I struggle with internally all the time. We're all part of this thing that we feel like we have to be a part of, and so to a certain degree we do, the socials and all the online stuff, and yet it's so far away from what I enjoy doing and how I like to present my art and my music,
I agree. It's
That's brilliant.
it's like
Yeah.
I say it's an unnecessary evil because you have to do it, especially when you're doing
To let people
music.
know about the shows
And I want to say, as ridiculous as this sounds, I didn't know what Patreon was, and Joni explained it to me. So you'll have 29 people as soon as I get a
and
chance.
whoever's listening, please sign up and help Katie
We
Marie
got to make
reach her
that
goal.
30, but I'm going to get my
thank you.
girlfriend to do the 30th. So you hit your 30 tonight.
Oh, you're
But,
so sweet.
yeah.
Thank you, JD.
I want to
Thank you
support.
both.
Oh,
Thank you.
totally. Joni told me, oh, I should do it like a couple of years ago, right? And I had no idea what it was. I thought it was like a GoFundMe. So I didn't really know. I didn't know it was a way of sharing your art and sharing who you are with people.
It's a meaningful
So,
platform. That's the way I view it,
it's
as a
great.
more meaningful platform for artists to reach people that truly want to listen to the music, not bots, not trolls.
Right.
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 And this leads me to my next question. What are your thoughts on AI in music? I've been dying to ask you this.
Oh, that's a great question.
Girl.
Yes. Spill
We
the
go
tea.
right into it.
I am drinking tea in honor of you today. My British
Bless
side
you.
is coming
Thank
out.
you. Thank you, JT. Oh, crikey. Well, yeah, let's unpack that. Great question, Joni. And I would also love to hear what you two think about AI and the whole AI sitch. My thoughts so far are that I am astounded by it and at the same time horrified by it.
Yes.
I can see like up ahead in the future, like so many problems, especially with things like Suno, AI generated music, all these legal battles that certain artists are coming up against, and just generating music in general to me feels so icky. And I don't know if the reason that it's icky is because it's now in my backyard, and it's like, well, I was using ChatGPT before that, and it suddenly becomes offensive to me because it's my work and what I do. So am I being a complete hypocrite? And I've been sitting with this
That's a good
lot,
point.
and I think that AI in general is wonderful, but I think that it's moving too fast. I don't think we've had time to adjust to it. And I can see the people at the very top of the ladder benefiting significantly more than the rest of the population. And I can see people in certain industries are going to suffer significantly, and that doesn't fill me with inspiration. And I think that it's been very helpful for me in some ways, but in other ways, I don't want to lose my voice. And that's actually another reason that I wanted to start my Patreon page, is because everybody is running full pelt towards AI. And I'm like, I just want to stay here. I just want to stand still. And I want to still have my own voice in text. Even, if you look at social media posts, I can tell when something's been written with ChatGPT, or it's been put through ChatGPT. And, if you think of authors that have a voice, like, my partner Christy, she's a fan of Liz Gilbert. If you read a Liz Gilbert book, you feel like you're sitting there talking to our Liz, and that is a skill. It's a beautiful thing for somebody to have a voice in written form, and that's something I don't want to lose. I don't want, we're all trying so hard to work towards perfection when it's actually the imperfection that makes things great.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
That is great. I love that. That's a quote.
Everything. That is everything.
That's art. That's the difference between art and something so sterile as something that was made from AI.
I was relieved the other day. I was chatting with another musician friend of ours who's a bass player, and I was telling him how I was excited that I had a mistake in my post, and I actually wasn't going to change it because then people could tell it was written by a human.
That's exactly right, Joni. That's right. Yeah, exactly.
I gotta tell you, I recently got the chance to meet Janice Ian. She came down and did a show. She's not singing anymore. I don't know if you're aware, she has scarring on her vocal cords. So she is going to be releasing new albums from old work. She has 250 recordings that she never released from back in the day. So she will come out with, new albums, but it's old music. But what they did was they had a fundraiser down here for Stonewall Women's Week, and they played her movie Breaking Silence. If you haven't seen it, what an amazing life. She was so brave to go up against the industry at 14 years old, and not back down to change her lyrics and change her principles. But she was there. So she spoke later on, and there was a meet and greet. So I got a chance to meet her, and someone asked her that question in the Q&A about AI, and her answer was almost exactly your answer.
See?
As someone in the pros, doing the music, writing the songs, and she said also what you said, like, it's moving too fast. It's not good enough yet. Like, we don't need it to be perfect anyway. If you use it as a tool, we have kind of been using it in the studio to do auto correct things, to do certain things to correct within recordings, engineering wise. But to have it write a whole song and then people are just releasing it that way, it's like, that's scary. It's scary, and it's
There's
amazing
bands
at the
now
same
that are
time.
AI, and people have no idea they can't go see them perform, which is really freaky to me.
Yeah, yeah.
I had to tell a robot yesterday. This was just something for my business. I was trying to fill out a form for the Department of Transportation. And I had to tell a robot I wasn't a robot. That bot
Prove it.
check thing, the CAPTCHA. And it was a
That's
robot I was actually speaking with, because then it answered me, I'm a robot and I can't answer that question. And I'm like, I have to prove to you I'm a person, but now I can't talk to you because we live in very crazy times with this. It's navigating that. I think your answer to that with
Yeah.
the Patreon
It was
is really
well
a
done.
beautiful thing, because it gets people to know who you are as an artist beyond all that AI stuff,
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for sharing that both. And yeah, I think that for me, the flaws and the imperfection are what draw me to a person or to their art. It's not everything being perfect. And actually, Christy and I were talking about this with recording her songs, which we've just started working on. And we were talking about whether we should track the songs to a click track or not.
Okay.
And we were talking about how it's okay to move, for there to be an ebb and flow. It doesn't have to be perfect. And if you think about how songs used to be tracked back in the day, and how really we're all trying to get back to that, which is hilarious. But everybody was in a room and it was tracked live, and there was there was movement, but it wasn't offensive,
Right.
And
Yeah.
that human quality is what drew you to the track, not that it was perfect, because if it's perfect, quote unquote, it doesn't have any emotion. And if it doesn't have any emotion, I personally am not the slightest bit interested. I love authenticity. I love when people write things that are just so emotive, and you feel like you're looking at a diary entry or something,
Right, right,
and
right.
you can't get that from AI yet.
Yeah.
I will say that I think that Suno is deeply, deeply offensive to me. Personally, if other people want to use it, that's entirely up to them, but I think it's just littered with legal issues, and I just don't want to even get involved in it,
Right.
But I think it's incredible, and I can't sit here and say that it isn't as good at writing as a human being, because it's extraordinary what it can do. I mean, when it first came out, I was, naively typing in these prompts of stuff and things, and what it came out with was extraordinary. And there are a couple of songs that I was like, I couldn't write anything that good, and it did it in 10 seconds.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
I
that's the
get
scary
that.
part.
The
Yeah.
way it spits it out, almost like a vending machine. But
Right. Yeah.
I liken it to, you can have a Salisbury steak TV dinner, or you can have a Salisbury steak that you cook that was grass fed with gorgeous organic vegetables, and both are food, but what's going to nourish you, you know?
But I get what you're saying. Like sometimes when you hear it, you're like, I couldn't write that. Like that's amazing. I don't think I could say that better than the AI came up with it. But I just recorded 3 new songs, and
Lovely.
I have to send them to you. I didn't release them yet. I
Please.
released one, Unbroken, but I don't know if you've heard it. But I'll send you the 3 of them.
Yeah,
So
please.
yeah, I would love for you to hear them. So I changed my style a little bit, but I'm still working with the same producers. And so when I finish the vocals and everything, you go in, you record your vocals and you record all the music, and then they go in and they mix it and they clean it up, whatever they do, right? So he said, "Oh, I'm going to clean it up and I'm going to take all the breaths out." And I'm like, "No, keep the breaths in. I want the breaths in there. I like that emotion." And like one of the things when I listened to Karen Carpenter, she took a lot of breaths when she sang. And like a lot of the songs before she even starts, especially on her Christmas album, you could hear her go, and then she starts. I just love that. Like, why are you going to take that out and make it sterile without a singer is breathing when they sing? So I prefer to leave the breaths in when I have them mix my stuff. But I think that those little things are what will separate us from people saying, "Oh, they did that with AI." Although AI will start putting breaths in too, I'm sure. Like you said, it's going to keep getting better and whatever. We have to, I guess, learn to deal with it because,
It's the elephant in the room. We can't
yeah,
ignore it, but we also we don't want to get trampled by it.
we
We
have
also
to
don't want
Exactly
to feed
right.
it too much.
we have to make friends
Right.
with the elephant.
I
Right.
have very staunch opinions.
On the elephant.
On the
Yay.
elephant.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, okay, so in switching gears,
I want to hear about your new music.
yeah, I wanted to hear about what you have coming out new, because you said Christy's writing some new things, and what it's like to be doing that with your person,
Ooh.
because that's
Yeah,
such
that's
a
a great question.
special, unique connection and dynamic. So, like, what is that like, and what's coming out? What can we expect?
Oh, well, bless you. Thank you for asking. And I would love to circle back on your new tunes. And I have a
Thank
question for
you.
you about producing and working with producers, if you wouldn't mind
Oh,
me asking, so we can circle
sure.
back to that. Um, yeah, so first of all, what's happening for me? I mean, my Patreon page has kind of been the center of my world as of late, and I even was brave enough to post a work tape,
Yes.
just a rough sketch of a
Oh,
song that I was working on when Christy and I were in the studio recently. And it was a big deal for me to share that. And I thought, well, I got to practice what I preach if I'm going to be my
Yeah.
authentic self, and I've got to put myself out there and not be afraid of people saying that kind of sucks or whatever, or just having some, yeah,
It
feedback
doesn't,
on
by the
something
way.
that's well, thank you. I appreciate that. But it was cool because it was lovely that everybody chimed in and gave me their thoughts and said, yeah, this is great, maybe go in this direction and that direction. And throughout the day I started hearing things and I got inspired to want to flesh that out. And somebody from my Patreon group messaged me and said, hey, I loved it when you were at Blue Rock and you did that live stream where you recorded one of your own songs and you live streamed
uh,
one day where you were recording it and then
I
the next
remember
day when you
that.
were
Yeah.
mixing it. That was so much fun. And I was surprised at how many people and the diversity of people that were there. I thought it was going to
Yes.
be just exclusively musicians or engineers or people that are musicians, but it was just everybody. and people being fascinated with having a window into the process. And it was just so joyful for me to be able to share that process. I love doing that. And so then my brain started going, and I was like, oh, cool, maybe I could flesh out this song, and maybe I could go back to a studio. Christy and I have been hanging out at Moxie in Nashville, and I thought maybe I could go back there and live stream the process, and it would be so fun for my patrons to get to see that from a work tape to then start to get fleshed out, and maybe incorporating some people's ideas and stuff. And so, yeah, that's kind of front and center of my mind at the moment is Patreon and creating content that's really meaningful, which has been just such a joy, rather than trying to figure out a reel that has to be under 30 seconds, that has to have certain hashtags and stuff and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
This feels much more my kind of thing. Like, I am an artist at the end of the day, and
More
I'm
organic.
creating things.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I definitely want to do more of that. I've also got some tour dates coming up with Christy Lene, who's also my life partner, and Paula Cole, which is really exciting. I'm like,
So exciting.
yeah, so that's exciting and bonkers and all the stuff and all the things. So that's what's coming up for me. But my question for you, JD and Joni, you can chime in too. Christy and I were talking about, because you asked that fantastic question of what it's like to work with your person, and in some ways it creates this very special bond, because we just have this connection when we're playing music that I think really you can only get when you're together. We just instinctively know where we're going, and if she decides to meander in a different direction with a song while we're actually playing it, I'm right there with her. We're so connected when we play, and it's such a special thing.
Yeah.
But it is also, she and I were talking about this just yesterday, how it's been an adjustment for her to be like, okay, you're my person, and we're producing stuff together, and we're working on this together, and her being able to wrap her brain around that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things. But yeah, my question for you two was that I was wondering how you feel when you work with a producer, and if there's any fear or I guess fear of someone taking over and not understanding your music and not respecting what you want to do as an artist.
That is an amazing question, because I have been struggling with that as of late, because I'm working with the same two guys I worked with on most all of my stuff. When I recorded in Nashville, they were up in Nashville back when I did my two other albums, and now they're both in Boca. I just thought they know best. They're the guys in Nashville. And whatever they said, like, I just went with what they thought, because I just thought they knew best, and I didn't have enough of my own confidence in my opinion, because I figured they know better. Now it's, I don't even want to say 20 years later. Okay, I've been working with these guys a long time. They're really good friends of mine. Now I go into the studio, and I think I mentioned this to you, and I had definite opinions on how I wanted these songs to be. First one we did was great. It was just like I envisioned it. It was great. And I loved what they did. So now I write two more, and I'm excited to go back in with the same experience. Wasn't the case. I knew I did not want a guitar solo in that song. I just wanted to be a music break, but I didn't want a solo. And he starts playing a solo. And I just say to him, what else do you have? That's all I said was, what else do you have? He takes the guitar off, he puts it down, and he goes, I don't even know why I try. Why am I even trying? Like, I just gave you my best work, and you don't like it. Now I'm like, no. And we were having a great time up until then, and I'm like, I didn't say I didn't like it. Do you have a different idea? Now I'm becoming the person from 20 years ago, and I'm like, it's fine. Just leave it in there. It's good. But it made tension. So I left it, but it was bothering me when they sent me the mixes. So when we went and we did the final mixes, I said, can you give me a mix without the guitar solo? Just in case my publisher, I'm like, just in case they don't want it with the solo. I didn't expect that pushback. Here's the bottom line. It cost me probably an extra $1,000 to $1,500 because they had to keep redoing it because they didn't do what I wanted from the beginning. But it took the joy out of it for me. I was so frustrated, but I got what I wanted at the end. But to get what I wanted at the end was a rough road. And I'm thinking, God, I got to learn how to do this stuff myself more. Like you do. You do a lot more of that yourself, you and Christy, right? Like I'm at a disadvantage because I don't play the instruments like you do. You know, I just strum a guitar and play chords and stuff, but I'm not going to get in there
You
and
play everything. You're
play like
amazing.
you do,
Drums, bass, guitar.
Oh, well, thank you for saying that. And JD, thank you so much for sharing that story. And I am deeply sorry that that was your experience. And Christy and I were actually talking about this. We've been talking about it for a couple of weeks, actually, about studio sessions where you feel as if you're the least important person in the room, when the reality is that you should, block capitals underlined, emboldened, be the most important person in the room, and your voice is the most important.
Yeah.
And, you know, I always want to make artists feel as if I am working with them. I'm in the passenger seat and they are driving.
when you're on the other side
I'm
of it.
guiding, and I'm like, hey, I think we should go down this road. If they're like, no, I want to keep going straight, then we keep going straight, you know. And I want to create an environment where people feel supported. And I think it's the whole reason why I primarily work with female artists. And I cannot tell you how many of those types of stories I've heard where it is an environment that it's getting better, I think, than when I was younger. I do see more female engineers or more women involved in studio settings, but it is primarily a masculine environment. And, you know, and I was also saying to Christy, I can't imagine trusting someone else with my own music, because as Joni was saying, you know, I do everything myself, and there's a reason I do everything myself.
That's amazing.
Because I don't feel comfortable enough to hand it over to someone else. And quite frankly, I trust my judgment. I trust my judgment during the process. And even though I want people whose opinions I trust to chime in and tell me what they think, I trust my judgment on what is best for my music. And I think that we need to try and encourage women to feel as if it's okay to voice something, and to not be conflict avoidant, and which is something else that Christy and I were talking about. I think that societally we've been encouraged to smooth things over, don't be difficult, you know, all this kind of nonsense, which, you know, thankfully I come from a long line of women who, I mean, my mother just ingrained in me, don't take shit off of anybody. Be kind.
Oh, that's good.
Be kind, be kind. But don't take any nonsense off of anyone, you know. Don't. You know, but I think that I'm saddened to hear stories like yours, JD, and I hear that kind of thing all the time, and it's shameful and it's shocking and it's awful. That should be the most sacred, wonderful, inspiring moment of your life. Working on your music with a great producer, and anything less than that is just not acceptable, and it's sad to me.
I'm glad you asked me that, because I never had a chance to really share that with anyone, because I didn't think anyone would be interested in that.
See, but they are.
You have to go in there and know your voice and stick to it, because you can't back down.
Exactly. You can't, but here's the thing. I don't think you should be in that position in the first place.
Right.
I think that you should absolutely be allowed to have input, and for someone to go, cool, no worries.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's really about the song, and what does the song need? And that's always the thing I sit with. I get lyrics and I listen to the song, I make charts, and I'm like, how can I amplify what this message is? How can I do that musically so that the instrumentation supports the melody and the lyrics, and and I also always get to know an artist, and I've worked with so many different people, and everyone works differently.
Yeah.
Everyone works differently.
Yeah, I would
And I
imagine
always get to
that.
know people and understand how they work. There's some people that want me to chime in all the time and be
Hmm.
given my opinion constantly and give them direction. And there's other people that want me to say nothing. And
Okay.
that is also supportive
That's an
because
art
that's
going.
creating an environment for them to wait and be patient and for them to go, hey, what do you think, KM? And I will
Yeah.
absolutely give them my thoughts in a kind, constructive way. Um, but I think it is a process that should be shared.
Yes.
And it's,
Especially when the
yeah,
person wrote the song, you know,
that's
it's
right.
like it's
Yeah.
different if you're covering a song, you know, or someone else's. But so you really see both sides of the coin. You see you're on the producer end, and then you're also the artist that's the writer that's doing your own project. So I mean, I admire that talent so much that you can pick up a bass and play the bass and then, you know, pick up the guitar and play the guitar and then do the drums. Like that's such freedom in the studio for
It
you, you
is.
know?
Well, thank you for saying that. And it does give me a lot of freedom for sure. It allows me to connect with the music because I'm all about the song. I'm all about the music. No ego. I am there to support whatever the song needs and is asking of me, and I can get into that flow, and it enables me to do that. But what's good in that respect is that I've been the front person, I've been the singer-songwriter, I've been in every position in a recording studio, environments where I'm the only woman there, times when there's been a group of dudes, I'm the drummer or the bass player, and I walk into the control room and they're all discussing how to play what I should be doing.
Oh,
And they're all
wow.
slapping each other on the backs and sort of saying, "Oh man, that was like sick, man," discussing what I should be doing differently, and just this kind of, yeah, just unbelievably sexist environments. And so I understand, and I the biggest compliment that I get from the people that I work with, either in a studio environment or on stage, is that they say I make them feel safe. And that
Oh,
is
That
the
is
biggest
huge.
compliment I can get beyond my technical stuff and things that I can do. I
oh,
think it is
yeah.
important for us to feel safe because it's very vulnerable. It's a vulnerable environment, a
It
studio.
is.
Yeah.
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 So you've got to be able to feel safe and as if you can try different things and explore stuff and someone isn't going to judge you or, tell you what you should and shouldn't be doing.
Hmm.
That you can work together and decide what the best thing is. And yeah, I just hope that as we move forward that those types of things are going to become less and less common.
Oh,
But
yeah. Is
the
it?
amount of people I work with that have come from that exact same
You've
situation
heard that
is, oh,
before.
constantly. It's so upsetting to me every time I hear it.
I'm gonna virtually high five Katie Marie through the screen.
Yes.
I have
Yeah.
a question. High five to my fellow tall sister.
Yeah, yeah,
I am dying to know because you are such an amazing bass player, and I got to see you play bass live. I want to know who your inspiration as a bass player is. Who
Good
is your
question.
favorite bass player? I've been wanting to ask you this for like 2 years.
Oh,
Since you told
Joni,
It's
you're
me.
my
so
moment.
sweet. Well, thank you. I appreciate
Yes.
that. And I think that the two bass players that influenced me the most were Brad Hauser, who sadly is no longer with us. He was the bass player with Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians. But I am grateful
Oh,
that I did get to meet him before he passed. He lived in Austin,
Wow.
and I got to meet him, and we played a couple of shows together. And the first time I played a show, I was on drums and he was on bass. And I was like, I'm not going to be a lame-o. I'm just going to be cool. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, you're so amazing. And I learned how to
Fangirling.
play bass to your bass lines. So yeah, so I didn't say any of that. I just sort of kept it all inside. I was like, I'm just going to be cool. And then the second time we had a gig together, he actually came in. He's like, "Hey, KM, I heard you playing bass online recently. You're an incredible bass player."
Incredible bass player
wow.
you
And I
That's
are.
said,
so
I said,
great to
well,
hear
Brad,
that.
yeah. And I said, well, I got to be honest with you. I said, you are one of the people that unknowingly taught me how to play bass. And
Wow.
I learned how to play bass to your bass lines. And he didn't change his facial expression. He just went
Oh,
like
That's
you got
great that
fist
you
the
got
bump,
to
and that was it. It was
tell
fist
him.
hilarious.
bump of
Yeah, he didn't.
approval.
Yeah, he just went like a knowing nod and fist bumped, and then that was it. And then we played the gig. It was
That's
So
great
funny.
yeah.
that you got to play.
That's an
Did,
epic
did
story.
you feel intimidated playing drums to his bass? Because
Of
now
course
you're
I
in a
did.
rhythm
Yeah.
section together.
Yeah, yeah, and it was still at a time when I was suffering with imposter syndrome pretty
Oh yeah.
Oh,
badly.
wow.
So yes, I did definitely feel that way. But the other person who has influenced me and who I also learned how to play bass to her bass lines is Krista Hillhouse from Four Non Blondes.
Oh.
Yes.
And she used to live in Austin, and she moved not long after I got there, and I never got to say to her how much she inspired me and how I learnt how to play bass by playing along to her bass lines and learning them verbatim. But
Wow.
recently, I challenged myself to go outside of my comfort zone. I read a book recently, The 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss, and he challenged the reader to his thing was to call someone famous or someone that has influenced you and ask them a question. Um, so I did my own version of that, and I decided to send her a voice memo because we are
Oh.
friends on Facebook. And so I sent her a voice memo and I was like, hey, I hope you don't think I'm being weird sending this to you, but I just wanted to let you know how much you inspired me, etc., etc. And I said, I actually had a question for you, which is how do you stay grounded when you've been in the business for such a long time? And Four Non Blondes are still a band, and still
Yeah.
going and same lineup and everything. And I said, how do you stay grounded? And she sent me back like the sweetest message, and she was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much for that message, which was so delightful with your British accent."
Oh,
But yeah, she was so sweet. She said it meant a lot to her, and her advice to me was follow your heart on all things. Follow
Oh,
your heart. That's the
that's
most important
nice.
thing. If it brings you joy, then that's the right thing to be doing. And she said that she's, been on stage with all sorts of different people playing in wedding bands or,
Yeah.
famous people. And the only thing that matters is that you're surrounded by good people
Mm.
and that
That
amen
is
it
true.
to
fills you up and follow your heart. And I thought that was such fantastic advice.
That
It
is
really
so true.
is.
So
Yeah.
Wow.
true.
You have
Yeah.
some. I need to start stitching your quotes upon a pillow. These are very good.
Do you know, I remember when we had you on the show, on the podcast the very first time, and you said that you learned how to play all the instruments because you were such an introvert. You didn't know how to play with, you didn't want to play with other people. So you just learned how to
I
play all
think
the
that is
parts.
such a badass
I
reason.
think that is so cool that you can do that, like for whatever the reason was, but I do remember that was your reason. And
Oh, that's very sweet.
I'm sure you don't have imposter syndrome anymore because you certainly don't, shouldn't because you are the real deal. Like I
You
am just
really
like
are.
so amazed at everything you do. And so I
Oh,
just
Same. We're like in awe of you. And
oh, well, you're so sweet.
and also
now
that
on
you're so
tour.
kind and so humble and approachable. That was the thing when we met you at the Funky
Yeah.
Biscuit, that you were so
It was
approachable and nice to talk to, and
that was the
people
Sophie B
aren't like
night.
that,
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
We were blown away
that's
by your
so sweet.
talent and then your
yeah,
approachability and you were so down to earth and cool. And then
yeah.
I also wanted to mention your original song that I listen to constantly, Little by Little. I
Oh,
wanted to
that's
bring this up. There's something about that song. It's the lyrics, it's the human approach. And I wanted to ask you how long it took you to actually create that song. And
wow.
are you going to be writing anything else like that song?
Oh, well, thank you, Joni, and thank you both so much for saying such kind things. It really means a lot to me, and I think I will say that I don't suffer from imposter syndrome anymore.
Great.
And
Good.
I think the reason is that I've realized that, we are all awesome. We're all awesome in our own ways. You guys are also equally as awesome. Like we're
Oh,
all so unique and beautiful and individual, and I'm grateful for any experience I get to have. And I will also say that when I started to tour with Sophie B,
Yeah.
and then I met Paula, and I realized that the only thing that I am concerned with is the content of someone's character. Is someone a kind person? That is the single most important thing to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just changed everything. It changed that kind of feeling of, oh, we're all at different levels and I'm trying to get somewhere. And it's like,
Yeah.
no,
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
actually here. Then there's that saying, wherever you go, there you are. And it's
Right.
like, oh wow, I'm literally exactly the same as yesterday. Nothing has changed. I'm still awkward and shy and all the stuff and all the things. None of that's gone away.
We can so relate
That's
to
And
that.
funny.
accepting.
That's
Yeah, it's just
funny.
an accepting of myself. And I also think that that was something that happened during the separation and the divorces, that I really got to connect with myself and love myself in all the ways, and be kind and compassionate to myself, which I can then offer outwards. I really appreciate all the kind things that you just said. It really means a lot to me. And anyways, blah, 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 blah.
It's
Go back to
very
your question,
sincere.
Jody.
Oh yes, your song
The
Little by
song.
Little. How
Yes,
long
thank
did
you.
that masterpiece take you to
Oh,
compose?
well, bless you. I think that, there's certain songs that don't take too long to come out. I think when you're in a flow and there's wherever songs come from, that one actually happened very quickly. I think it was in the space of like easily an hour that just came out
Wow.
and all the lyrics
Yeah.
happened, and
Yeah.
it
Love that
just
song.
happened. Oh, well, bless you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And yeah, I'm actually starting to write new music, and I think being inspired by my Patreon page and
Yes.
healing from lots of stuff and things to do with my separation, I'm actually starting to hear music again and hear
Yeah.
ideas.
So
Oh,
And
that's
good.
beautiful.
yeah, yeah.
We
So
are
that's very exciting
excited.
for me, and exciting to have somewhere meaningful to share these things, to
Yeah,
share these creations
absolutely.
on Patreon, rather than just into the ether of Instagram or Facebook, where they
Yes.
may or may not
It
be
Totally.
feels a
heard.
bit like
You
an
know,
intentionless black hole.
Like
that's
a needle
exactly
in a
right.
hay,
Yeah,
like a
Yeah,
needle in a haystack. Like,
people
yeah.
just
exactly right.
write
Yeah,
the most
yeah.
tone deaf things sometimes, or it's like literally a bot. I don't know. It's not
Yeah,
even
or just trying to reach people that are following you because they want to be, but I
right.
have to
Yeah.
battle the algorithm. And
Right.
You're so
there
right.
didn't used to be an algorithm, but I think that Patreon to me is the closest thing to the MySpace days, which MySpace
Yeah,
was a wonderful platform
it
for
was.
artists and
Yeah.
creatives and to connect with your people. And then, of course, corporate greed and algorithms and blah, blah, blah came along, and it
Yeah.
made it such a battle to reach the people that actually want to follow you anyway, and
Sure.
something else decides what they see. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
oh, it's so frustrating. So, yeah, I know I keep bleating on about it, but it's a nice way to directly connect with people who are interested in what I do, and I can share it with them and feel so much joy sharing with them what I'm doing,
Yeah.
and creations and new songs and stuff and things. So,
That's awesome that that
Love
even
it.
exists. I didn't even know
It
that. And
transcends too in the content you've already been sharing. And I wanted to say, it reminds me of the feeling I used to get in the 90s as a teen, going to the record shop and picking up an album and reading the liner notes. I feel that feeling again. So I
on
wanted to thank you.
Patreon.
Yes, because you're
Wow.
getting this
That's
exclusive
awesome.
access to a moment with Cam, and it's not some thing like a generic thing that would be on an Instagram or whatever. It's like she's in the
I
studio.
can't wait
She's
to experience
it's
this. I'm gonna
fabulous.
sign up
Everyone
when we're
sign
done. Yeah. I'm
up.
gonna sign up when
thank
we're done.
you. You're so
Because
sweet.
you
Thank
know,
you.
Part
you
of the club.
I'm definitely going to join. It's like when you post something on Instagram and even Facebook, people don't really pay attention, right? So, like an example that just happened 2 days ago to me, a long how many years ago was it now? 2006 it was. It was a long time
Wow.
ago. I got to play a halftime show for the Indianapolis Colts, my own song, Thanks to the Brave, that I wrote, because the cheerleader from the Indianapolis Colts contacted me, found my song online, and asked me if she could sing it for their tour for the USO. I don't know. And so to thank me, they invited me to perform that same song at one of their home games. I post it every once in a while on Facebook, right? Because that was one of my most proud moments. And someone said to me the other day, "Oh, I'm so impressed with you singing at that football game." And I'm like, with the NFL game, and I'm like, "Thanks," and they're like, "I mean, it was so great that you got to sing the national anthem." And I'm like, how did they listen? I got to sing my own song. Like, that was the whole point to that. I was, I mean, I would have been proud to sing the national anthem, but the fact I got to sing my very own, that song that I wrote at the NFL game, people don't even listen. They just saw me playing at a football game and probably scrolled right by. So I'm looking forward to connecting with you on your Patreon, really cool, because it's more of an intimate. It seems like it's more of an intimate.
For sure. It's a better fan experience, I think. And again, people that are on it are invested in.
I had no idea what that platform was.
Well, now the more you know.
Yeah. I have another question for you that you're playing.
Yeah, what you got?
In the big leagues, like with the 90s icons and, all these people, and you can, message people that are famous and stuff. Do you ever feel like you want to pitch your own songs to them, or are you able to do that? Or is it something you don't do if you're in that space? Like, how do you feel about that?
That's a really good question, JD. I mean, I would love to write a song with Paula. That would be pretty magical. And I think for me, I may further down the line ask or offer up a song if I have one that I think might be cool to maybe collaborate on. I think it's probably the type of thing that I would wait for an invitation.
Yeah.
And I also really, what's the most important thing for me is my connection and the trust that gets formed with that bond,
right. Yeah.
And Paula is such a sweet human being. She's so lovely, and all the things that we're all talking about, she has the same experiences, she has the same worries and the same fears, and she's just, both her and Sophie B.
Yeah,
I love them
oblivious. Like, Paula Cole seems oblivious that she's Paula Cole, and Sophie B is Sophie B.
Sophie B's magical too.
Oh God, they both are, and they were so influential to me growing up. And
same.
I have to sort of pinch myself. I'm like, is Paula
Right?
calling me right now?
We had their CDs like in our room.
That's amazing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because you're at the age where they would have been the people on the radio,
I think
right?
you and I are the same age.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, 28, is it?
Yeah, 28.
We're 28. We're about to be 28.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They were absolutely, middle of the 90s.
Oh yeah.
A big deal, and they were also two very powerful, strong women, which wasn't really a thing. We were just sort of starting to move towards the kind of Alanis Morissette.
I was just going to say, thing. Yes. We were swallowing our jagged little pills.
Exactly.
And Sean,
we were greeting Sunny when she came home.
Exactly.
That was us. And now it's called Cigarette Mom Rock. It's its own genre now.
Right.
Yeah, that's a new thing.
Natalie Merchant.
I saw it trending. Cigarette Mom Rock, and they were saying all of these artists are kind of going into that.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
interesting. It's my daily playlist, by the way.
Oh yeah. You have to share it.
Yes, I will.
Please do. Yeah, that sounds right up my street.
Yes, I'm listening to all of this stuff, and of course I've got my 4 non-blondes on there.
Of course.
What's going on?
Cool. Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Is Linda Perry still in that band? She was in that band.
Yeah,
right?
she is.
She's still performing. Oh, I thought she didn't perform anymore for some reason. I thought she was a producer.
They're making new music again. She just re-released Beautiful, which she had written, and Christina Aguilera.
A music festival. I think it's called Beyond Bourbon or something like that. Does that sound familiar to you both? It's a big music festival. There's
Is
going to be
it?
lots of
Yeah.
very well-known acts playing there.
Cool.
And I'm going to be playing there with Paula, but Four Non Blondes are going to be playing there too. They're one of the main acts at that festival.
Oh,
So yeah, they seem to be getting back together. Linda's been doing stuff for a while. She's an amazing producer and engineer and
yeah,
songwriter,
yeah,
She
and
really is.
just a powerful, strong woman.
yeah.
And that was the other thing that Krista said to me when she replied, very sweetly replied to my message, was that she said that Linda is such a wonderful person to be in a band with, and that she's protected all of them and advocated for all of them, and
Nice.
is the reason they've been able to stay together so long.
I want to trade a playlist now with Katie Marie.
Okay.
I've got to get on my Spotify and send you my playlist.
Please, yeah, I would love
So
that.
when do you hit the road with Paula?
Yes.
So you go with Christy first, and then you come back and you hit the road with Paula, or what's your schedule like? You're busy.
Yeah, so I'm actually in Florida right now, would you believe?
Oh,
We've
you're
got some
north,
shows. I've got some
right?
shows with Christy. Yes, Tampa, St.
Oh,
Pete sort
when?
of
Oh,
neck of the woods.
when? When are you
I
playing?
think
We're
tomorrow.
playing. Yes, that's right. Look at you
Oh, we
go.
should take
I
a
was
road.
looking at your
Tomorrow, somewhere Friday.
Oh,
Oh, good.
man.
I'm not a psychic. I was just trying to see if she had a show near us because we wanted to
I was
go
going to say I'm
see.
impressed, Joni.
We're creepily stalking you, but not in a creepy way.
No,
It's a little
That's
bit
all
creepy.
right. No, there's
I want
nothing.
to write about your show.
Oh, it's not enough time for a road trip.
I
Next time you're
know.
here, we'll take a road trip.
She's
Next
gonna
time.
be.
Next time.
I think in
Yeah.
the fall you're
But
coming
yeah,
back with
She
Paula.
knows.
Well, because you
yes,
announced
you
it.
know, she knows.
I follow her. I'm not a creep. I
Yes.
promise.
Yeah. I believe it, Joni. I believe it.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see. Yes, in September, middle of September, we're going to be starting rehearsals with Paula.
Yeah.
And then we'll be all over the blooming place between.
Wow,
We might have a
I think
South
it's
Florida
September
date between
18th.
now.
I saw all the tour
Yeah,
dates. I
quite
mean,
possibly.
I don't remember them, but I remember saying, "Man, she's going to be everywhere. This is so exciting." It's
Yeah.
just so cool. I'm
Yeah.
very happy for you. For everything. Like it's got to be like a trip to just be doing this, and what you love, and being acknowledged by the big leagues. Like you deserve to be there, of course, but it's just got to be exciting to be doing that.
Oh, crikey, for sure. I mean, the fact that, Paula Cole would think of me even and
Yeah,
ask me and say, I want to do this thing.
So
Are you
cool.
up for it? And I'm like, yeah, of course I am.
I love that.
I mean, it just, yeah, you're exactly right. It means so much to have somebody that I have so much respect for, who I grew up listening to,
Sure.
who is actually the reason that I sound the way that I sound when I sing, when I write my songs.
Wow.
And the fact that that person wants to pick me means just the world. So
Wow.
yes, it's all of the things for sure.
Wonderful.
And I'm so excited to play all over the place, but particularly go back to my old stomping grounds in Austin and play a couple of shows around Texas. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's
I'm looking forward to
Fabulous.
showing it on my page. On my
Yes,
page.
we
Ready
will
for
be
it?
following your journey. And I have one final question. Are you packing the
Yeah, what
chess
you got?
set? Is the chess set going on the road? Yay!
Of course, and I'm actually very, very proud to say I was the one that taught Paula Cole how to play chess.
Oh, wow.
I love it. I remember
Yeah.
you were playing with Sophie B and we were bonding over
Oh,
chess. It's my favorite
yes,
board
that's
game.
right.
So.
Is it? Sweet. Very
is.
cool.
I love the rook. We all have a favorite piece.
Yeah. Yeah,
Don't
so
be
definitely.
sleeping on
Yes,
the
the
rook.
chess set.
I think I'm
Have
going to
chess
have
set
to
will
learn.
travel.
All the cool
Yes.
people play chess. I'm going to have to learn how to play.
Yes.
Really?
I love
They
that you taught Paula. And we want to know if at the end of this tour you can tell us where have all the cowboys gone?
I will finally find out where have all the blooming cowboys got a
She
dog.
wants to know where the cowgirls have gone, not where the
Perfect.
Exactly.
Let's put a beautiful
Yes,
twist
exactly.
on it for 2026.
Will will Christy be joining you for any of these dates, or is she got her own tour going on, or how's that
Well,
working out?
yeah, she's going to be going on tour in Canada. While I'm
Oh,
on the road with Paula, she is
oh
going to come
wow.
and be at some shows, which
Great.
will be lovely. And yeah. So
That
we're
is
both
so
busy with all sorts
magical.
of cool stuff and things. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
completely magical because you have a mutual respect for what each other does, and then you get to do it together. Like you're doing your thing, she's doing her thing, but then you do your thing together. That's pretty cool.
yes.
So I'm so
This was
honored
so much
that
fun.
you have come back to the Rainbow Remix now for the third time. I'm so excited. And it was so nice of you to wish me when I got your Happy New Year text, it was like, oh my God, she thought of me. Like you're a superstar,
Thank
and
you
we
so
are
much.
just
You really are.
very starstruck that you're here. So
Oh,
thank
Thank you
you.
behave,
for taking the
behave.
time.
You're so sweet. You're so sweet.
I'm getting like a creepy stalker.
Okay,
But
JD. You can't be creepier than me. I'm
Yeah,
the creep that goes for
I'm the creepiest.
schedule. Oh, well, thank you so much, Katie
Oh.
Thank
Marie.
you.
Oh,
And
you're so
we're
sweet. Thank you both. Thank you both
delighted.
so much. Yeah,
And
We
I
love this
hope
time.
that
kind
you come
words.
back to tell
I
us
will.
about this tour when you have time, when you can do
I
it.
would love to. I would love to. And thank you so much for having me on the show again. Always a
Absolutely.
delight. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
Awesome.
Good luck on all of your
Yes.
touring and all of your music. I'm going to join your Patreon and
Please do.
encourage everyone
Thank
else to
you.
do it. We're going to
Thank
get
you,
that into
JD.
triple and quadruple and
Yes.
beyond
Aw.
digits.
Oh, well, bless you. Thank you.
Let's
I
not put
appreciate
limits on it.
There's
Just
no
everyone
limits.
sign up.
There's no limits. Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I
Thank
love
you
it.
so much.
Thank you, Katie Marie.
Thank you
Thank you
both.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Welcome
Take
back.
care.
Fighters, we won't back down. Voices loud, tearing through the ground. Every wound's a badge we wear with pride. Never surrender. We've got the fire inside. Told to hush, told that we're too loud, but we scream and we'll never bow. Tears and scars forge this steel. No more doubts, this power's real. We are unbroken, we're the storm. All their rules, we've torn apart the norm. No apologies, hearts ablaze, we're the sun, we're the endless days. Rise up, fighters, we won't back down. Voices loud, tearing through the ground. Every wound's a badge we wear with pride. Never surrender. We've got the fire inside.